Hello guys, here with a new video for the channel. I hope you like it, and if you like it, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, get comfortable. Let's begin. Millions of years ago, a being of great power divided his power into two parts, because he had a premonition in which a warrior was going to be the destroyer of everything that exists. That being, named Ryuga, was the creator god.
This power, the one who is worthy and capable of protecting all the temporal dimensions, will be the chosen one.
A sphere of ki issued throughout the universe said power wandered for millions of years. However, in Universe 7, to be more exact, on the planet Vegeta, two saiyans with silver hair like their eyes were born. So it is, said energy had entered these, causing them to be born with the perfect ultra instinct. The saiyans were Kakarot and Vegeta, which when they were born made all the universes tremble in the palace of everything.
Daishinkan, what's that tremor? Could you feel all that abysmal power? That's right, my lord. It's a gigantic power. Go immediately and bring them. We'll take care of that power ourselves, since it'll be our best ally.
Daishinkan would obey the great Zeno-sama, leaving the Universe 7 at incredible speed. That's right, Daishinkan would arrive in a few minutes. However, when he arrived, he was able to observe the destroyer god Beerus of Universe 7 together with his angel Whis, which was about to destroy the entire planet Vegeta.
Simple monkeys, die! I'll not let that immense power exterminate me in the future.
But at that precise moment, an attack would collide with this one.
Who the hell dares not to follow the orders of the mighty god Beerus? You better calm down, Beerus god of Universe 7, since this planet is under the protection of the great Zeno-sama, because two Saiyans have been born with incredible power and will be our allies. Great Daishinkan-Sama, I'm sorry for my disrespect to you.
Beerus and Whis would go to this planet. At that moment, Daishinkan would go down to the planet Vegeta, talking to King Vegeta.
I introduce myself. I am the High Priest, the guardian of Zeno-sama. We have felt that two Saiyans have been born with the power beyond a god, and we want to raise them. It's a pleasure to have you in our humble High Priest planet. For my part, there is no problem, but the other Saiyan is from Bardock. Thanks, King Vegeta. Don't worry, I'll take care of talking to him. Okay, take care of Prince Vegeta, please. You will be in the best hands. Don't worry.
Daishinkan would talk to Bardock, explaining everything that happened.
So our little Kakarot is a god. If you want, he'll become much more powerful. I accept it. You won't regret it. When you have free time, we'll make them visit you.
Daishinkan would leave with Kakarot and Vegeta. That's right, they have reached the kingdom completely. The power of both Saiyans, being just babies, were so much that they were even on par with the god of destruction. However, without from Universe 0, a universe that believed to exist, a being was watching them.
The beings that damn Ryuga left to exterminate me have finally been born. I'll let them get a little stronger and absorb them.
Returning to the kingdom completely, both Saiyans would continue as normal, and the Kakarot was not hitting his head, was much colder and more intelligent. After a few years, both Saiyans already had enough power to face a god of destruction and defeat them without any difficulty. Meanwhile, returning to the planet Vegeta, the evil Emperor Frieza was a little pensive, knowing that even the destroyer god Beerus was terrified by the power of both Saiyans. So Frieza decided to train to become much more powerful. Frieza had undergone rigorous training, returning to the kingdom completely. Approximately 7 years had passed since the birth of both Saiyans, in which both had already had enough power to face him, a guardian angel. But at any moment, both would fall unconscious. They had reached a part in their mind in which they met the god-created love Ryuga.
What is this? Are you inside our mind? I don't understand anything, vermin, but it will be much better that we find a way to return.
Apparently, you were the chosen ones.
Who spoke?
My name is Ryuga, and I'm the creator god.
I have offered you a large part of my power so that you're able to face a being that will appear in a few years with the intention of destroying everything.
Are you the creator god? You're so much stronger than Zeno-sama, it seems.
That's right, I believe Zeno-sama. Goku and Vegeta were surprised to hear that Ryuga has mentioned. I just wanted to meet you and tell you to make an effort since the approaching enemy is not weak. We are from the Saiyan warrior race, the most powerful. You should not worry. Goku and Vegeta would come too. Both already had the mission to become much more powerful. Meanwhile, in Universe 7, a being would appear in front of Frieza. He was sent by the negative creator god. Emperor Frieza, you call yourself. I come to offer you even greater power, but you must first master to be able to be worthy.
Who the hell are you?
My name does not matter. Your mission is to eliminate the Saiyans, Goku and Vegeta. Leave them on the verge of death, and bring them to the center of the universe.
What if I refuse?
At that moment, Frieza felt a tear in his entire body. That subject with the power of his eyes had left him on the verge of death. The power of said being was so much that even Frieza was not able to do anything.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
That's better. First, you'll have to master all this power that I'm going to give you. And yes, eliminate all those damned. It doesn't matter who stands in front of you.
Understood. From today, I'll train this new power.
Returning to the Kingdom of Everything, both Saiyans were training with Daishinkan and Zeno-sama in a special room, so they were able to increase their powers much more, so they would continue for a few years more. However, the power of both Saiyan children grew incredibly. Both were already at the level of a supreme god. After a few days, in the Kingdom of Everything, a meeting would take place in which the most powerful beings of all the multiverses would attend. The multiverse of Zeno-sama was Multiverse 6. In a few words, the weakest of all, from one moment to the next, a being with imposing, flashing red eyes if they came close to it. Time without seeing you, Zeno-sama. Apparently your multiverse is still weak of all. Oh, competent. Zeno would give a smile knowing that Goku and Vegeta, being just children, were capable of defeating almost any god. However, when Vegeta heard this, he would get angry and into the conversation. Our multiverse is now weak. If we want, we can destroy any being in his universe. What a child is doing in this place. They were raised by Daishinkan and me, and they're like my children. If you do something to them, I swear I'll kill you. I can't imagine losing to you, damn dwarf. Okami would approach Zeno-sama, who wanted to get into a battle pose. However, at that precise moment, Okami with a powerful blow would make him fall to the ground, very injured. His power is still insufficient to beat me. Vegeta, unable to control his anger, would pounce against said subject, who was going to knock him out with a single finger, but at that moment, Vegeta was able to dodge his blow, and he would counterattack with a blow, which would push the King of Everything the way back Okami a few meters. The blow of that child is incredible. He was able to push back a king completely with a single blow. I swear I'll kill that damn dwarf. I won't let him make fun of me. But at that moment, an incredible pressure would crush everyone as if it were serious. The most powerful king had arrived, who had become enraged, witnessing how Okami was going to attack some children. How dare you, Okami, to want to attack a simple child? You know that this is paid for with blood. I'm sorry, King of Everything Supreme. I just got angry. And besides, this place is exclusively for deities. Simple children should not be here. That is why I have summoned you in this place. The powerful creator god Ryuga finally found the chosen ones. Seriously? Who is it? There are two children who were born with the power of a creator god, and those children are here. At that moment, Goku and Vegeta would pass, leaving everyone surprised. Welcome to all the deities of a different multiverses. That's right. As the Supreme King of Everything said, Goku and Vegeta possess within them the power of a king of everything. This is impossible, as two mere mortals can have the power of a supreme deity like the creator god Ryuga-sama. None of us knows. It just happened, and now we are training these two Saiyans since they were born, since their potential is incredible. Those two Saiyans will be the saviors of all the multiverses, so you should treat them with the same respect that you treat me. All the eccentric gods, and at the end of the meeting, they would return to each of their multiverses. However, 4 years had already passed since Kronos had given power to Frieza.
Both Saiyans were approximately 12 years old, and they were already capable of Daishinkan using 45% of all his power, and that was brutal, knowing that they were just children.
Hey Vegeta, don't you feel like visiting our parents?
You're right, Kakarot. Let's tell the great Zeno-sama to go to our planet.
Both Saiyans would talk with Zeno-sama, who had become good friends with both children. They even played together in their spare time.
Zeno-sama, can we go to our planet? We want to visit our parents.
Of course. If Goku and Vegeta ask Daishinkan to take them to their parents, I have no problem.
Goku and Vegeta would leave in search of Daishinkan to go to the planet Vegeta. When they found it, they had began to go to Universe 7. However, when they arrived, they observed how their entire planet was about to explode. The planet Vegeta had been reduced to atoms. Goku and Vegeta were surprised. However, far from that place, they felt that the power of Beerus, the god of destruction, was diminishing rapidly.
The subject that eliminated our planet must be the same subject that's fighting with Mr. Beerus.
Goku and Vegeta would reach a part of space with the help of Daishinkan. However, when Frieza watches Daishinkan, he would remember,
those two Saiyans will never be without Daishinkan. So when it appears, this negative energy barrier activates. This will allow the Daishinkan to be out of action for a few minutes, during which time you must kill those Saiyans. Frieza would activate his barrier, causing Daishinkan to be on the ground, knocked out. Frieza had managed to activate the seal that would be able to knock Daishinkan out of action for a time, in which he had to kill both Saiyans. Frieza, without trusting himself upon learning that both Saiyans were the descendants of a creator god, had gone on to his new transformation. Frieza would go to Black Frieza, which gave off incredible power.
Now I will annihilate them simple monkeys.
Ha ha ha! Damn insect! Even if you knock out Daishinkan, you won't be able to do anything against us!
However, from one moment to the next, the Emperor of Evil began to sweep the floor with the Prince of the Saiyans. He was able to give him a few good blows, which were seriously injuring him. Kakarot, realizing this, he would go Ultra Instinct, launching himself against Frieza. However, Frieza would dodge his attacks with the little difficulty, but it would give him time to vegetate and pass to Ultra Ego. The power of both Saiyans was so much that they made them tremble the 12 universes with the clashes of their fists. While they exchanged blows, Kakarot would tell him,
"Why have you destroyed our planet? Weren't the Saiyans your most faithful soldiers?" "That's right, but a guy with a mental power gave me that, or..."
At that moment, a sphere of ki would envelop Frieza. He was feeling immense pain when realizing a bit of information, and Sphere would enter his body, dominating him completely.
"Did I find you?"
Kakarot was not able to finish his sentence because Frieza would take him out with a sneaky blow, making him destroy a few mountains that were around him.
Damn, Kakarot, are you okay?
"Vegeta, don't worry about me, but apparently I'm being much more powerful than Frieza is in manipulating him."
I understand, so that's what it's all about.
Both Saiyans, realizing that separately they had no chance, began to fight as a team. These fighting as a team had an incredible bit, being able to even put the Emperor of Evil, Frieza, into trouble. Meanwhile, in Universe 0, Kronos was sitting on his throne, which would be said to be a little annoying.
Those two Saiyans will end Frieza's life. It'll be better for the 12 generals to take care of this problem. 12th and 11th! Come immediately!
At that time, two warriors in armor would appear in front of it.
What are you offering, great Kronos-sama? I want you to go to the multiverse, which has the key of the creator god, since the cold demon that we entrusted with the mission will not be able to execute it. Don't worry, sir. Leave it in our hands.
Returning with the battle, both Saiyans were putting the Great Frieza in great trouble, which, with the passage of the battle, was increasingly tired.
"I will not let simple Saiyan children make fun of me. Now, I will exterminate them."
Frieza increasing much more power, Frieza would use 100% of all his power, managing to take a little advantage.
"I can't take any more, Vegeta. I feel like this bastard's going to kill us. His power is so much that I feel like he's crushing me."
You don't look defeated, Kakarot, since I can realize that his body does not control all that power. If we endure a little more, we'll be able to defeat him.
Goku and Vegeta began to use ki in their defenses. Both Saiyans knew that the Emperor of Evil, Frieza, would not stand so much. Frieza began to give him a shrapnel of blows from Vegeta, which he did not counterattack. He just received. Annoyed, Kakarot was going to launch Help Vegeta, which Annoying would launch with a sphere of ki.
It's my battle. Don't interfere, worm.
It's the first time I've seen a Saiyan as proud as you are.
That's because I'm the great Vegeta!
Frieza would continue to slaughter Vegeta with blows, which at that moment would realize that Frieza's power was decreasing in an incredible way.
Kakarot, it's now!
Vegeta would stop Frieza's next blow, and with a sneaky blow, he would make him go through some planets. Vegeta's blow had an incredible power, making Frieza kneel in pain. Both Saiyans began to massacre Frieza quickly, making him all his ki decrease in an impressive way.
This is what I meant when I told you not to attack. You must not be so impulsive, Kakarot.
I understand, Vegeta. Now let's end this suffering of Frieza.
Frieza would lose his transformation, returning to his ordinary form. However, before he died, he was able to regain his consciousness.
I never thought to say this to some simple monkeys, but thank you. Now they must leave. With the little power I have, I will create a barrier, since two beings that have to overcome my power will come at incredible speed.
Frieza's body would be surrounded by a powerful destructive energy. Frieza thought to create a barrier with all his vitality. At that moment, Frieza was able to dominate all that energy of destruction and channel it into the palm of his hand.
Walk through all these 12 universes! Explode immense!
An immense explosion would be seen in the 12 universes. Meanwhile, with both generals, when they were about to reach Zeno-sama's multiverse, they collided fiercely with the barrier. Frieza had succeeded. Both generals were throwing balls of energy combined attacks, however, the barrier did not crack.
Damn, this barrier is made mostly of destructive energy. It'll be very difficult for us to destroy it. This will take us a few months. You are correct, 11th, but we cannot return to King Kronos without the heads of those two Saiyans. If we do, it will be our end.
Both warriors having too much ki, their energy reserves were practically unlimited, and they could attack with the same power for months. Meanwhile, returning to the Kingdom of Everything, Daishinkan had returned together with both Saiyans, reporting everything that had happened to this great Zeno-sama.
So they have finally realized Kronos. From what I understand, he is one of the most loyal warriors. The creator god Ryuga never wanted to defeat him. Kronos was only collateral damage, but he called himself the negative creator god. Does that mean that Kronos is not the true creator god, my lord? This is Daishinkan, the true negative creator god. If he died in battle, and he needs a practically unlimited source of energy to come back to life.
Daishinkan would be shocked to find out about all this. However, at that moment, he would enter Kakarot along with Vegeta.
If they're looking for us, we'll face them. I know that this moment, we're not rivals for them, but we will train in this time.
That's right. We are the two most powerful Saiyans of all multiverse, and of any other multiverse known to unknown. We have in our veins the power of a creator god. You are correct. You are the salvation of this entire multiverse, or rather, of that entire omniverse.
Daishinkan along with both Saiyans had entered a very special dimension, which made them raise their power in a surprising way. Without being affected by time, in that place both Saiyans began their arduous training. After approximately 4 months, Kakarot and Vegeta were able to beat Daishinkan separately without any difficulty.
I have taught you everything I know. Now it is your very ability, and everything you love to this omniverse, which will unlock your hidden power.
I appreciate your Daishinkan care. Since we were babies until now, I swear that we'll defend this omniverse even with our lives.
That's right, Daishinkan, but don't worry, since it's not in our plans to die yet.
The three would leave the room. However, their surprise was great when they observed the 12 universes in chaos, and Zeno-sama in his combat form was very badly injured.
I did everything possible to give him time. Everything is in his hands. You were a great opponent, King of Everything of this multiverse, but your power is not enough.
At that moment, a sphere of ki would end the life of Zeno-sama. However, before dying, this would make his spirit leave his body.
Kakarot and Vegeta, the most powerful Saiyans I've ever met. Don't die, since now I don't see you as the saviors of this multiverse. You're like children. Take care of yourselves.
At that moment, Zeno-sama's spiritual energy would be exhausted, vanishing into nothingness. Kakarot would be left blank. knowing that his best friend had died. Kakarot's ki was increasing in an incredible way. Since Kakarot was the one who got along best with Zeno-sama, and his anger was much greater, Kakarot was increasing his power in an impressive way, going to Ultra Instinct maximum power.
I swear I'll exterminate them, and together with the bastard of the negative creator god, they will not be opponents for me.
Ha 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 ha! This fucking trash doesn't know what he's saying. Now, it's time for him to die.
However, Kakarot, at a speed that not even Vegeta was able to observe, would hit both generals who were left on the floor due to the pain they felt.
But what happened? I was not able to see anything. This is incredible. The power of this Saiyan is overwhelming.
Kakarot wouldn't stop. The rage he gave off was incredible. Kakarot was massacring both generals who had no hope. However, at that moment, the 12th general was able to land a big blow on Kakarot, which would send him a few meters back.
We have to make it 11th. I agree with you. Curse demonic technique! Divine demonic union!
The power of the entire 12th general had entered the 11th general's body. Divine demon union consisted of the higher level being keeping his body, while the lower level being becoming part of it for approximately 24 hours.
Now if you will regret not having killed us in the beginning.
They won't be a match for me. Their power is miserable if I compare them with my power. I don't care what method they use, it'll be in vain against me.
The new subject would call himself a divine general. He would launch himself against Kakarot, giving him a shrapnel of blows, sending him flying to different planets of the 12 universes.
What happened to all your damn Saiyan energies? Is that all?
However, even the new warrior would begin to tremble, observing that this one with his fists at his maximum power had not caused him a single scratch.
I wanted to see how far your power was from mine, but apparently the distance is as big as heaven and earth. Your blows weren't able to tickle me.
Don't make mock at me! Receive this universe-destroying sphere!
A gigantic sphere was being loaded onto said general's finger. That's right, when he was the size of a planet, he would throw it. Daishinkan would be scared to feel such power.
It'll be better to escape, Kakarot. That attack surpasses you by a lot.
Too big to be such a simple attack. The general's attack would collide with Kakarot, causing him to crash into the planet.
How about that, miserable? Now suffer!
However, at that precise moment, a laugh would rumble throughout that multiverse.
That pathetic attack will be nothing against me.
Kakarot with his hands would be able to return it to him, and he would charge a powerful sphere of energy. The attack would colliding with the general would disintegrate it, leaving nothing.
I was able to beat those miserables!
At that moment, Kakarot would fall to the ground, knocked out. Kakaroto was able to defeat the fusion of the generals. However, the price to pay had been very high, since the veins of Kakaroto's body had exploded. That's right, Kakaroto's body could not bear such excess energy, and his spiritual sea, or better known as his internal sea of energy, was affected. It had already been a few months since the loss of Kakaroto's cultivation, but he did not wake up.
Daishinkan, why doesn't Kakarot wake up? Did he die? He will wake up, but I can't imagine what his reaction will be when he finds out that he lost all his power.
Meanwhile, in Kakarot's mind, he was in a meditation pose. That's right, Kakarot in that battle knew that his cultivation would explode, so he performed a duplication of all his spiritual sea. The chances of the technique working were only 5%. Kakarot was recovering his power, but at that moment, the creator god Ryuga would appear in front of Kakarot.
Creator god Ryuga, what are you doing inside of me?
I am only in your mind, but I come to inform you of something catastrophic.
Kakarot would change his countenance to a more serious one.
Has something bad happened in my absence?
For the moment, no. But in a few months, I fear that something terrible will happen. The energy of the negative creator god is affecting the most powerful supreme gods. And upon realizing your supposed death, some supreme gods have decided to change sides.
Are you telling me that the supreme gods joined the negative creator god?
For the most part. The only one who still believes in me is the most powerful supreme god, Yami. But even with his maximum power, he would not be able to face all the Supreme Gods together.
I understand, Ryuga-sama, but in what time will they attack?
I could not tell you for sure, but with the spiritual body that I formed, I could hear that in approximately 48 hours, they will be in this multiverse.
That's very little time. I'm still affected from the last battle against those generals.
I know, Kakaroto, but the Supreme Gods waited for your awakening for approximately 6 months. And when they didn't wake up, they decided to change sides because if they didn't, it meant death.
Thank you very much for all the information. I'll do everything possible to reawaken all my power as soon as possible.
I trust you.
Ryuga would disappear from the mind of Kakarot. Returning to the realm of the whole was the Prince of the Saiyans who had already reached adulthood.
It's been a while, Kakaroto, since I trained with you. I swear I'll avenge you.
Mr. Vegeta, seems that the Supreme Gods are heading towards this multiverse. If they continue at the same speed, they'll arrive in approximately 36 hours.
I understand, Daishinkan. What do these insects want now?
What none of those knew was that the Supreme Gods were going to devastate this entire multiverse since one of the Chosen Ones had died on the battlefield. Flashback 6 months ago, Daishinkan would take the body of Kakaroto, leading to the Palace of Everything. Daishinkan would use all his techniques to make Kakaroto wake up, but it was all in vain. At that time, Kronos was the right hand of the negative creator god, appeared in each of the multiverses of the Supreme Gods with the exception of Yagami, because Kronos knew the loyalty that Yagami had in the creator god. However, fear had invaded all the other Supreme Gods, being easy to manipulate.
If you don't want to die, you'll have to join the negative creator god. Otherwise, you'll die right now.
Okami, furious to know that they were threatening a Supreme God, would create a huge sphere of energy, throwing it with all his power. But he was surprised when he realized that this attack was disintegrated with only one hand.
Apparently we have the right test subject to demonstrate what happens if they don't want to collaborate with us.
Kronos would disappear from the palace. He was moving at an incredible speed. Even for a Supreme God, Kronos would connect a strong blow, leaving Okami, the third most powerful Supreme God, out of combat.
If he continues with that arrogant attitude when he wakes up, he'll leave me no choice but to exterminate him.
After approximately 3 hours and 15 minutes, Okami would wake up, realizing that he was still in the same place. However, at that moment, a feeling of terror would fall in his body. If a single subordinate of the negative creator god has all this power, I can't even imagine the amazing power of that legendary negative creator god must possess.
And what have you decided, third Supreme God? Are you with us or against us?
The Supreme God Okami, swallowing his pride, would get on his knees. I intend to fight for the negative creator god, and whoever stands in his way, I'll annihilate him.
That's much better. Now stand up. What do the other Supreme Gods tell me? Will they be with us, or shall we start the bloodbath?
All the other gods agreed, otherwise they'd be killed. Vegeta and Daishinkan were training. After all this time, Vegeta was able to dominate all his power. Being above the power of a Supreme God, Vegeta and Daishinkan would have a fight, and Vegeta was already able to defeat Daishinkan.
I congratulate you, Mr. Vegeta. You really deserve to be the Prince of the Saiyans.
Thank you, Daishinkan, but I wouldn't have achieved any of this without your help. At that moment, some beings had landed in the training field where Daishinkan and Vegeta were. That's right, the Supreme Gods had arrived to the multiverse of Zeno-sama. That moment, Daishinkan was going to receive them. However, Vegeta would notice the murderous look of all of them and would take Daishinkan by the arm and would put a cold look on his face.
You're not the Supreme Gods we saw last time. Who are you?
Of course we're us. I still remember the blow you gave me when I was just a simple child. This moment, I'll give it back to you multiplied.
We're sorry, Daishinkan, but we really had no choice.
Supreme Gods on guard and attack! Don't be confident, because even if you don't have the combat experience of us, you still possess the power of a creator god.
Damn it. Despite observing there are only 2 of us, the 6 Supreme Gods will attack together.
Vegeta passed the Ultra Ego dominated 100%. why Daishinkan agreed to his new transformation, which he had been able to achieve in his difficult training. However, he was still below the Prince of the Saiyans. Vegeta, being more powerful than Daishinkan, was fighting against 4 supreme gods at the same time. However, at that same instant, as if it was lightning, came a powerful being wrapped in flames. That's right, the first supreme god had appeared on the battlefield, hitting all the gods with his fists of fire. What did the negative creator god offer them? Whatever it is, it'll not fulfill. We must have faith in the creator god Ryuga-sama. We have had the faith of all these millions of years, and what happened? Nothing! 6 months ago, the negative creator god paid each of us a visit, and if we don't swear loyalty, he'll kill us. What do you want us to do, Yakami? Yakami would be shocked to realize that the negative creator god had put them up against a wall. No matter what you say, Yakami, today we'll finish off the last descendant of Ryuga, and neither you nor anyone else will be able to stop us. Meanwhile, in a faraway place, the negative creator god was standing. So, finally, the supreme gods are on my side. Good job, Kronos. Those bastards will only be my food because I want to wake up completely. I understand, sir, but now they're wiping out your brother's offspring. The negative creator god by the name of Lucille looked at Kronos again with a very cold look and angry look. Don't repeat that damned one again as my brother. I'm sorry, sir, it won't happen again. Returning to the realm of the hole in the room where Kakarot rested, a power flowed from him little by little. That moment inside his mind. At last, I've regained all my spiritual C! Please, Daishinkan, Vegeta, resist! I'm coming with you! Kakarot at that moment would open his eyes, noticing some devices he had in his body. Daishinkan would use everything to make Kakarot wake up. Kakarot would quickly start going to the training ground. As Kakarot felt how the powers of Vegeta, Daishinkan, and Yami were about to disappear, seconds before Kakarot would arrive, he would witness how all the gods were carrying great power. Infernal Dragon Rain! Spiritual Reduction! Millions of red dates were heading towards the 3 warriors at a great speed. Just as Ryuga had said, Yami, despite being the most powerful supreme god, was not able to defeat them all together, because when he was going to annihilate one, another supreme god prevented him. Damn it! I'll die here without being able to do anything. I'm a disgrace to my race. I'm sorry, Zeno-sama. Your sacrifice was in vain. I wasn't able to protect Kakarot or Vegeta. At that moment, when the attack was about to impact them, a being would stand in the way of that attack. Punishing Finger! Kakarot, with only one of his fingers, was able to destroy each of his arrows. That's right, the power of Kakaroto had increased in a supernatural way. In that time that Kakaroto was unconscious, his body was accumulating power, and all that power would be added to his new spiritual C, having an impressive power. Who is that being that stopped our attack? This doesn't make sense, but let's not let them recover their energies. They should have used their last of their energies to stop that attack. At that moment, all the Supreme Gods charged a great energy of destruction. But great was their surprise when they felt how an energy attack that did not lose with their power collided with their Haki energy. This is impossible! I can't believe that those 3 have so much power! But at that moment, everyone froze when they heard a voice they would recognize instantly. I'd understand if they destroyed the entire multiverse, but if they wanted to kill my friends when I wasn't there, well, I won't forgive them! This is a fucking nightmare. You should be dead! This isn't happening! Look how dead I am! Kakaroto would send some more power to his attack. He won the clash of powers. A big explosion would be created in all of that place, destroying everything around him. Kakaroto would create a powerful barrier that would cover Vegeta, Daishinkan, and Yami. You've done enough. Now take care of the rest. Without the smoke dissipating, all the Supreme Gods launched into the attack. Everyone would think that they would have the advantage as Kakaroto could not see anything, but this was nothing for the being that received the power of a creator god, as Kakaroto would dodge every one of his blows. How is this possible? I can't believe it! I'll cut you with the demonic sword, flames of the celestial underworld. One of the Supreme Gods would rush at Kakaroto with a sword wrapped in blue flames, but Kakaroto would stop it with his fingertips and break it by exerting a little more pressure. Kakaroto would stop playing games, leaving all the Supreme Gods out of combat in less than 15 seconds, and at that moment, he would create a sphere of energy that would connect with the place where Lucille was located.
I still don't know who you are, but I swear that I will look for you and I'll annihilate you with my own hands. You already snatched Zeno-sama from me. I don't care who you are. I'll exterminate you.
What will happen next? Find out in the next chapter. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.